and welcome back to the Love Speak, where our goal is to get love right. And tonight, we will be discussing venting to your family and friends.
Mm.
I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with the baddest of the baddies, Billy Badass Joe.
Hey, world.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling abundant. I'm feeling busy and fulfilled. How about yourself?
Yes, blessed as well to see another day. I like that busy too and fulfilled, right? Getting it done,
Yeah.
watching things
Yeah.
come together. That's always a beautiful thing. Doing the work though, right? Cuz that's where it count. Got to
Yeah.
put that work in. But before we get into the Love Speak Q&A, make sure to like and share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel so when we go live, you never miss a chance to let your love speak. Also at DB Chef TV gift shop. It is the holiday season and the reason. So we got 25% off all merch right now. Go ahead and visit www.dbcheftv.com and hit the gift shop link, y'all. Um, we also got a QR code for you. So if you don't want to go to the site, you can go right there, use your phone, and use the QR code. And we know that money's tight, and it's all right. So we
Yes.
got something you can do for free, and that's
Yeah.
smash the like. We gonna love you. We gonna love you either way. Let's go ahead and get to the Love Speak Q&A. Uh, so tonight on the Love Speak Q&A, we got 5 questions for y'all, and you know what we always want y'all to do. Tell us what you think in the live chat, or let your love speak in the comments below. Our first question tonight: is it healthy to vent to friends and family about your relationship? Our second question tonight: have you ever vented to your friends or family? And if so, what happened? Third, what kind of issues are okay to vent about? And what kind of issues should stay private? Number four, can frequent venting be a sign of deeper relationship problems? And our fifth and final, last but never least question: how can couples set venting rules so both partners feel respected? Let us know in the comments below. Let your love speak in the live chat. However you feel about that, we want to know, y'all. Is it healthy to vent to friends or family about your relationships? Really badass Joe, please let us know. Is it
Okay.
healthy?
Uh, to use the word healthy, I probably would just say flat out no. Um, And that's only because, unfortunately, like a lot of people probably don't give unbiased, or they love, more fortunately, they love their family and they give their opinions that probably reflect the love and care that they have for them. So sometimes that may come off in conflict of the ultimate goal, which is still for the person that's doing the complaining to stay with their mate. So that could be a potential problem. And then there's other walks of life that have people that don't want to see you prosper and do good. So they may thrive off of any type of failure within your relationship. So you got to be careful on that aspect. Um, But I just genuinely feel like it's rare, or you have to be very select on who you decide that you want to vent to about your relationship. I mean, for example, if you have a friend that tends to give an opinion and move on, or maybe give an opinion because that's what you're seeking, or rebuttal in a conversation or feedback, but doesn't really chastise people, or you know judge in stone, maybe they are a good individual to get your emotions off to if you don't have a therapist. Ah, but I don't know, like if maybe your big sister, or like your mama, or
It's a lot of different people. That's back to family.
yeah, or your older brother. If you and your man not having good times, and you got an older brother and or a younger brother, and that's who you telling that your
No,
frustrations with, I don't think that would be the, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
but then again, who knows? I guess it really depends on the relationship that was established prior to this part of your life, where you became a grown up and needed to vent and complain about your partner, and that's the point that I'm saying. Like, choose somebody that you already have a idea of who they are before your private individual business became the subject.
And then it would be healthy. That's what you're saying.
You might stand a better chance
It,
of it being healthy.
if you chose the person wisely,
Yeah.
then it could be healthy.
Yeah, instead of frivolously, venting to whatever family member you end up coming across upon the situation happening, or you could be going through something in the house with your man, and your phone ring, and whoever is on the other end of that phone might get the whiff of what's going on because they just happened to call at that time, when maybe that probably wouldn't have been the selected individual, that if you really took your time and sorted out who you wanted to confine in, maybe that person wouldn't have made the cut originally.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which-
Man, so right now, y'all, we are answering our first question. Is it healthy to vent to friends and family about your relationship? Man, let us know in the comment section. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think it's healthy at all. Now, um, I agree with you with the family too bias. I think the family's gonna always be biased. You know, I think that's just
a natural being, like a
yeah,
second
like
nature, or first nature. Yeah. Yeah.
because in most families, like you don't like another thing that you were saying, you was making some great points. So another thing you were saying, like you don't talk to like if this person who call a family member who call, and that's not somebody who you always speak with. So in families, typically, like along the list of people that you name, brothers, mothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews, you may have a closer relationship with that person.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to tell that person, but you're going to tell that person,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
And that's just because of the relationship that you had, the closeness, right?
Exactly.
Whether it's a family member or it's a friend,
Exactly.
right? But that's where I go to. It's still unhealthy. Cause what we get that saying like putting all your business out in the street, like that's where that came from. Putting all your
Yeah.
business out there in the street.
Yeah.
And in most families, somebody else talk to somebody else. So like you got a cousin, right? They cool with you,
Mm-hmm.
all right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they have another cousin that they close
Mm-hmm.
to too.
Right.
Or they may have a sister or a
Yeah.
brother, right? They have a sibling that they close to,
Mm-hmm.
but then that sibling has a relationship with somebody else in the family or somewhere,
Right.
So it's just like when we were small and you know
Playing
me
telephone.
me and myself now no when I used to get ass whoopings,
Uh-huh.
okay, you know mom get on the phone with her sister, right? So now you over another auntie house and you cutting up and it's don't make me have to beat your ass like your mama did last night, and you
Yes.
like, hold up, she ain't even talk to you because I was on pun. I was in the corner the whole time listening to all her phone calls, and she
Right.
told she told Aunt Emma, she told Aunt this one, she told, but you ain't get told, so somebody done told you who she
Yeah.
told, you
Yeah.
know. So so when you look at it like the word gets around, it's going to get around. I don't think it's healthy. And then with friends, so like that's the family scenario. Then with friends, it's like they cool with somebody else too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very rare that somebody's like you their only friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then that's bad. If I mean,
Right.
because that means you're not really that productive.
So
You
what are
know,
you suggesting? Are you suggesting that an individual only talk to like their therapist about their relationships with their loved one or their spouse or their significant other, or do you kind of like talk to a stranger maybe about it? Like when I say a stranger, I mean a genuine stranger. I don't know how or what sparks up a conversation between two strangers, but I'm imagining
I just go to
maybe
the bar and just start drinking and get order a drink and then just hey,
yeah.
and then just start talking. Hey, you know what? Nah, I don't think you do that either.
Or the gym, a gym you don't frequent often. Maybe one. I mean, because if you frequent it, you
Mm-mm.
probably don't want to get too businessified in there either. Um, but what do you suggest?
I'm going to wait until we get to the question that would that I would get an answer for what I would suggest. I'm gonna wait to that
All right,
because because to me it's obvious. If I'm not going to go talk to a stranger and I'm not going to talk to a family and I'm not going to talk to a friend, to me it's obvious.
all right, let's go.
You
Let's get
know,
it. Let's get
even
it.
though even though I do uh agree with counseling, you
Okay,
know, I do agree with counseling.
so
Um,
you just want to talk to your partner about it, and that's it.
I don't know, maybe not, but
All right,
you you
let's
pretty
get to that.
sharp. You pretty sharp though. You're pretty sharp.
Yeah, I've been called smart a few times in my life.
I believe whoever said
I did graduate high school early. Fun fact. But but
it.
honestly, that doesn't mean anything because I really just worked out my schedule better. And I was thinking the other day, I was thinking about this one podcast we did, and I called a girl Spanish, and I'm like, Spanish is language, not
Ethnicity,
ethnicity.
correct,
Yeah,
correct.
exactly. I was thinking that to myself the other day, so I stand corrected. I think she was Dominican or something like that.
I mean, a
Peruvian.
Latina it will
Yeah,
just
Latina,
will
right.
cover the board.
Right, because Dominicana is a place, right? Is a
See,
see? Yes, see. You're right. Thank
see,
you for that. But yeah, okay.
exacto.
Numero dos.
So, como nah. So, have you ever vented to your friends and family? If
Come on.
so, so
Mm,
have you ever vented to your friends or family? And if so, what happened? Have you
okay.
ever?
Okay. So I'm gonna just give two scenarios. I could give a lot, honestly, because I mean I haven't always made the right decisions in life myself when it comes to this subject. But um the first one that I'll give is the more you know. Okay, so there's a male, we'll just say that, in my life. Okay. We're not gonna give any type of leeway to what type of relationship this male and I have. But anyhow, the sexuality of this male I have discussed with my mom and with my close friend and even with my cousin, because it has always been asked, is the man that I have this relationship with um gay or bisexual, right?
Okay.
So it has been a topic of discussion before amongst these individuals. Okay. So there has been a time where maybe me and one of these other individuals, or maybe me and all these individuals, have been in the same room together. So it will end up resurfacing because now these individuals want to know their thoughts and perspectives, considering I'm the center person. So they all have spoken to me, but they haven't spoken to each other amongst it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the main sector. This person belongs to me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But now that
You put it out there.
I ain't put it out there, they all
You
came
put
and
it out
asked me individually
at,
because
at the same time.
no.
I thought y'all was in the same room together.
Yeah. So it don't gotta be me. It could be any one of them. The person could call my phone while we having a powwow. And once I hang up and they heard that it's who I was on the phone with, they were like, oh yeah, by the way, what y'all think about so and so? Because I know y'all met them before. You know what I'm saying? And they
Okay.
want to know each other perspectives, right? Because it won't be for me to carry each other's perspectives on the phone into them individually. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, because that's not what's going on. But whatever me and them talk about as individuals that they bring up to me because it's a obvious something that you would want to question, due to mannerisms and things of that nature or whatever the case may be, so it's kind of like, all right, it ain't nothing that's hidden. So once these individuals get amongst each other and they do that, and then the man makes himself present in the same environment with these women and individuals, it don't make for good, because it don't make for healthy or good or anything, because it's like the elephant in the room. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
okay.
So
Okay. So now they looking for his mannerisms to be a
I mean,
certain way.
they already seen it or felt it or heard it or whatever. That's why, as individual conversations, they have brought up to me, hey, what's up with your, you know what I'm saying? Your people's, your guy friend, your, yeah, what are y'all lover, or y'all, whatever. What's his sexual? Because, he's this, that, and the third. So it's they have brought it up to me on separate occasions. Okay. So again, this is not something
So
you have to go looking for with this individual,
so you saying that you brought a guy to one of your family affairs and everybody wanted to know if he was a friend or or if you was with him.
Who cared about all of that? They more so wanted to know the
That's
sexuality
crazy.
part of it.
Yeah, because they know that his mannerisms, right? So that's what.
Yeah. And
Okay,
they
yeah. So
already
that
knew him.
led
So
to.
it wasn't even looking for him. It was more like
Hold
just
up,
just just doing the stuff that cat out the bag stuff, elephant in the room stuff. Like,
because you told him about it. I get it.
I didn't tell them shit. They brought it up to me. Stop
Because you
that. That's
told
what I'm
him
saying.
about
And then,
it.
and then, and then, if they get amongst each other, I don't. I have a lot of associates, but I have a small circle of friends. So my people normally stay close to me, whether it be around, a warm summer day and we doing cookouts, whether we doing birthday celebrations, holiday celebrations, like they all gonna end up crossing paths with each other, because and they won't remember each other, because it's not a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, that are going to be that close proximity to me. It's a million people I'm going to say hello to, or know that, oh, they know me, so they say, or things of that nature. But when one get to know the other, y'all get to know each other. There is no like hiding who you are, because the setting is always so intimate. You don't get to hide yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. So
No hiding.
yeah, now, I mean, you can try, you can run, but you can't hide. You keep coming around, we gonna get some out of it.
Look.
So, now the good side, before I release the question over to you, the good side about venting that I have to play the 50 on is that I do have a live free friend. I do have a, like, I'm not gonna say where she's non-judgmental or non-biased, but what I'm gonna say is she's not um she's not unwilling to like flex, grow, and change, and like change her mind as a human, or decide differently, or experience something and decide. So I just feel like that I'm fortunate in my situation, because I can vent, and I mean, I feel like I vent about any topic that I want to with her, but I'm still woman and have coof, so I'm pretty sure I wouldn't, dive too deep into certain subjects of my life with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's with the particular individual. But but
Yeah, I noticed you
if
said
I
you were
gotta get
gonna
some
go 50. Yeah.
right. But if I gotta get that right, but back onto my other side. If I gotta get something off my chest, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad I got me a friend that we can sit on the phone and get a key out of it. And then tomorrow when we wake up, we not acting like you deserve to be treated some type of way because of the things that you vented about last night and the way you might want to live today.
Okay.
Accountability is necessary if you see patterns and things of that nature. But yeah.
We're gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get to that. But you said some pretty interesting things. One of the things, what is live free? What is that? I've
I
never
mean,
heard
just
that.
to sum it up, there's some people that are like, I'll try everything once.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And I mean, I know there's a lot of everything, like what, you don't got no limits. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is this is like definitely not like the opposite end of a live free would be like, quote unquote, what they say, Bible thumper, or
That's not extreme though. I thought that was extreme.
like a live free.
But
I think it's on
it's
the
one
opposite.
extreme to the next. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying like no, I'm saying like you said Bible thump. Okay. So it's a difference between I got some spirituality. I believe in Jesus Christ as
Right.
my Lord and Savior, but I don't
Right.
feel like I gotta go pay for it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm gonna pay for it when I die
Right.
if I'm off the scriptures,
Yeah.
right?
Sometimes I
Like
like to do
anyway.
extreme stuff. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's extreme. All
Right.
right. If I'm thumping it, because then it's just like if I don't have this before this and I don't do this before, I'm going to hell. Like
Right.
everything you going to hell. So
What?
that's extreme. So the live free, is you saying, is the complete opposite of the going to hell.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
What
so
I'm
live
trying to
free,
say
so
is
they do anything. They ain't got no limits
no.
then.
What I'm trying to say is this. Let me clarify. What I'm trying to say is this. The Bible thumping is extreme, but when we're talking about extremities, we're okay. We can stay on the same spectrum, but as far as living by the book, as far as having this fear of allow not doing certain things because of maybe social norms or society perception of you as an individual, right? And then you have some other people that do care and don't care. And then you have some people that just don't care at all, right?
Okay.
About right, exactly. So what I'm saying is that I'm thankful to have somebody who was in between. And when I say don't care, there are definitely things that are still to be cared about, but the judgment of the world is basically what I'm saying. you need to conduct yourself a certain way, period, because that's just, if you're making yourself a grade or a quality of a person, depending on how you conducting yourself. And as for me, I like high quality grade stuff. Mediocre sometimes if I gotta deal with it, I ain't too good, but I prefer, I'm
Yeah,
just not doing spoiled or rotten or none of that. Like,
yeah. That's
yeah.
what that's I agree. I agree. Um, I'm also, when it comes to new people, new friends, new
Mm-hmm.
associates, new acquaintances, like
Mm-hmm.
I my on my application, asshole is a requirement that we're not accepting, you
If
know.
they're an asshole, they're getting cut.
Yeah, we need
Oh,
quality.
uh-huh.
Well, they can't even apply. They can't even
Oh,
apply.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So
Some
like you,
assholes got other good characteristics though.
yeah, but I don't need no more assholes though. I need the good characteristics because see,
Right.
like you said, your inner circle. All my inner circle is good characteristics. Like it took time to build this up. I've lost a lot of friends along the way to where I'm at now,
Right.
at this
Right.
level of peace.
Yeah.
You know, so we
Yeah.
not even talking about nothing material. We talking about something here, a
Yeah.
level
Yeah.
of
Of course.
peace.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
You
Yeah.
know,
Uh-huh.
because I'm gonna have stuff.
Right.
I'm gonna have more stuff that I can't take with me when I go. Right,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right. But the time and energy that you invest into each other as
Mm-hmm.
people,
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
important. So asshole can't be on the list.
Okay. Understood.
You know, I
Makes
got
sense.
enough of them already that I already, like you said, what about that the other things that they do good, the other
Mm-hmm.
productive things. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to weigh how much the
Mm-hmm.
good stuff is versus the asshole. And then I had to reserve a bunch of that list for my family. So
Mm-hmm.
so
There you go. You got lots
so they
of
filled up a
even less
big part of
room.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could have the, okay, when I'm not dealing with this and I'm
Mm-hmm.
dealing with this, this
Mm-hmm.
is this is productive. This is
Mm-hmm.
cohesive,
I
you
feel
know?
you. Yeah.
Definitely. But I got a crazy story. So like I did last time, let me put on the
Uh-oh.
let me
About to
put on the
change the glasses on her.
yeah, let me put on the shades for this one. These the Biggie Smalls is the illest. So,
Mm-hmm.
I got a little
Baby, baby.
baby.
I'm
So,
feeling them. I like them. Let me see
right.
them.
Oh yeah. More little side view.
I'm trying to see if I got them in if I have those with the different color, but I got
I don't
right.
know. You may have those, but you don't have these. So look. So look, let me tell you. So,
Oh,
so let me tell you about it one time. It's the shades. I don't know when it's the shades. I start talking slick. I don't
uh,
know what happens. But it's all love. So I had a situation where I was with this young lady before I met my beautiful wife, and
that's,
and the young lady was we had an argument one night. So I don't know what sparked the argument. She was telling me something like, we've been together for like a year and a half and you haven't proposed to me yet. That's what the conversation was about, I think.
mm,
And then she got upset, started fussing and cussing and everything. So she said some things that that really bothered me,
mm-hmm,
because I was like, damn, like why would you say that? What where did that come from? Where was that at? We had every opportunity to talk about things, and why would you keep something like that bottled up?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was concerned about it, but then the way she acted out in front of some friends, that we were going out with for the first time. So
Mm,
this couple was like, hey, let's go out, hang out, you and your lady. And we did that. But on the way home, like she showed out. She showed her ass. So, I had to tell them like, no, I'm not a woman beater.
Right.
Like this shit is toxic. I don't do this shit type of shit. I don't know where
Right.
this came from. That ain't even
Mhm.
my character. I don't do none of that. I don't know why she decided she wanted to act like that. So,
Mm.
but y'all heard the conversation. Even the husband of the other couple, he said, man, when she said what she said, I moved because he was driving. He said, I moved a little closer to the window because I thought you was gonna reach in the back seat, punch her in her mouth.
Oh, she
Right?
was violating. She was getting nasty.
Oh man.
I mean, not that I condone violence, but if he want to say something like that, I'm assuming she just wasn't complaining about the weather.
That was his observation. You know,
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting
Uh-huh.
in the front seat smoking a black and mild riding home because we
Right.
all twisted. So I'm
Oh,
like,
okay. Look, it was in
yeah,
there.
so I'm just like, I'm cool. And they professionals, I was on active duty then, and we all
Uh-huh.
professionals. Even the girl, she had a very, very uh prestigious
Uh-huh.
employment career going on, so like she had her thing, she had her shit together. She
Right.
wasn't wrapped too tight, you
Right.
know. So
She wasn't rap she's
nah, she wasn't wrapped too tight. So
Uh-huh.
she we after that, she says those things. So I had went and I knew I was done with her after what she said, you know.
But she's hold on. So was she saying things about your family, about
Yeah,
you
yeah.
personally, or like was she attacking like something that just set you off, or was it just her whole aura and all being in front of the people?
So what she did was she attacked me, but about my family.
Okay.
Okay. So she said, and for real, like I ain't even tripping. She said, you do too much for your family. All right. And they ain't shit. And then she said, fuck your mother, you know,
Dang.
because you do too much for her too. Right.
What?
So I don't understand because, where we was living, we driving Lexuses and shit. We got
Hmm.
plenty of food in the refrigerator. We got nice house. We got like we ain't wanting for nothing where we
Hmm.
at in
Hmm.
our situation, and I'm having that without I ain't need her to have that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't get what the fuck uh, you know, my family, like you can't I'm venting to her about some ain't shit family. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like I'm supposed to be able to talk to you. Like you supposed to be if you talking about where your ring at, right?
Right.
Then you're not supposed to be using against me the fact that I'm still helping my family. But
Mm.
it does bother me because the certain members who I was speaking of at that time, they want the money, but they don't want the game, so they don't have to be, you know, trying to cash back me to death. You
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
I'm annoyed with it because I know they taking my love for them as a weakness because I'm not gonna say no.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's what my frustration was in communicating that to her. But we having that, why we still having, why we still doing whatever we doing and shit. So I ain't
Right.
understand that. I ain't
Um,
understand where that was in her,
where it
like,
was rooted or coming from.
yeah, like what part of you, what is making you resent that? Do
Right.
you what
Uh-huh.
you saying I'm not doing enough for us?
Uh-huh.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Okay, but we haven't.
Right.
We ain't wanting nothing. Our wants being met too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or
You
did
know,
she want something that she wasn't confessing or expressing or
clearly the ring she ain't get.
that's
You know,
exactly where she was saying all this money you spending on this family, you could go,
but
you
then
spending it on my ring, she said.
yeah, but I could have went and got that easy. You
Right.
know, So that
Exactly. But it
so
wasn't
you
about
know
the money. Yeah.
it wasn't about that. It was about I need to know who you are as a person. I'm trying to get to know you as a person, and I can't
Yeah.
get to know you if I'm gone for 4 or 5 months at a time, gone for this or that in a month. I don't can't know you as a person, and we
Right.
talking about a year and a half. That's only 18 months.
Right.
I probably seen you maybe 6 months out of that 18 months
Yeah.
total.
Right.
Maybe eight, maybe eight
Right.
months.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we like each other so we could screw,
Right. Right.
but
Surface
before,
level shit.
yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like we got together off
Right.
physical attraction. Like, okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I liked you, you liked my smile. Yeah.
As
All
I say
right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's easy. To me, that's always the easy part. That's not
Right.
the difficult part. The difficult part is the learning someone, to being patient, being tolerant, understanding, communicating, those things, right? The getting the love right part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cause that's when you love somebody. We could fuck and that ain't no love.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Mm-hmm.
gotta understand a whole life, a whole responsibility come from that. So when she said, and I say that to say, when she said fuck my mother
Mm-hmm.
and I do too much for my mother, that's what she say. For not my
Mm-hmm.
mama, not fuck my
Mm-hmm.
mama.
Right. You tripping. You tripping, dog.
You got to be crazy.
Right.
So that's what he was saying, and that's because he, rest in peace, Big Al. His mom had passed. You
Mm.
know, so I know how that was for him, and I know how much he loved his mom. You
Right.
know, so he was saying he was condoning me, I putting the Ike down,
Right.
but that
Make
ain't me
anime eat the
anyway.
cake.
Yeah, you know, with a friend telling a friend, you know. So I said to myself, I was like, it's no way that I will ever have sex with you again. So the relationship was done right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Once you said fuck my mama, you know, because if we have a child, like you carrying that energy to my child towards
Mm-hmm.
their grandmama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I come from a family where grandmamas, raised the babies, help raise the
Mm-hmm.
baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's no way you could disrespect my mom like that. You can't do that. Even though you ain't say that to her, you
Mhm.
try to say it to me. But then, what type of sucker would
Right.
I be? What type of
Mm.
weak ass type of sucker would I be? You know, like that was
Exactly.
crazy. So that let me know, like, oh, you must think, you know. So I shared that. I shared that with, some people that I was close to, and I shouldn't have done that.
You should have put them glasses on
You
and
know.
did what
I mean, I
you
got
did
up
the
out
right
of there.
thing. You did the right thing.
Yeah, I got up out of there.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
did the right
I got
thing.
up out of there. It was smooth. You know, of course, she called me and, why we can't be together, get
I,
it together, you know. And then she told me, I said, what do I get? And she was like, all this. I was like, I'm cool. Test drive. Nah, I don't like how that ride, you
you're
know.
returning it back to manufacturer.
Yeah, I'm gonna park this on the lot and walk away. Y'all can keep the keys. So,
Mm.
that's what I did with that. So, but but I couldn't, once the people that I had told, I realized I couldn't take this person to a family function,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And that's what I realized, because I realized if I take this person to the family function, I know who I told, and I know they're going to tell somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know it already.
Mm-hmm.
So they not going to let me show up. And then, I'm from the era where, you can't say shit about somebody's mama, you know? Like I got it. My mama beat my ass telling me you don't have to defend me. All right, for because me getting suspended from school for somebody talking about my mama, and she telling me, no, you ain't supposed to worry about that. You supposed to be at school getting your education. All right,
Yeah, all right.
I protect your ass.
Right.
You don't protect
Yeah.
mine. Okay,
Yeah.
so as a child, right? So I know that deep down inside there would have been a little bit of resentment, and I couldn't imagine being at a family function where some shit pop off and I kick her in her ass before I break it up. I digress.
Not kick her in her ass before you break it up.
Yeah,
Put the five toes to the right cheek.
yeah. So nah, like I don't need to be trying to make love to nobody or I want to punch in
Nah,
the face or I want to kick in the ass, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
That's not a loving thing to me. If I want to punch you in your face, the last thing I wanted or slap you or you bring you bring get me to that point where you bring that up out of me,
Hmm.
then the number one thing I want to do is keep my distance.
Right.
You
Right.
know, that's
Mhm.
safe. That's safe for both of us.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree with that.
cause like I was telling you, like we was talking about on the last show. I don't do bitch energy.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You know, and that's what that was. That's what just like, huh? And then I'm supposed to be all up in your face, fuck my family, fuck my mama, all that. So
Right.
I shouldn't have shared that. But that's what happened, and that's how that ended. Where I just got up out of there. But people was telling me, family members was telling me, don't bring her around.
Yeah, I don't think she probably would have got bust like a grape in a fruit fight.
Yeah, yeah. People was telling me
And
don't bring her
you
around.
said that you shouldn't have shared that, and I understand where you're coming from with that, but I think that she shouldn't have fixed her mouth to say those type of things if she was the woman that was
She
made. You
felt
should have
that.
shared it because the woman that's made for you, even if she got some critiquing or criticizing to do, she ain't gonna pick the moment where y'all in a heat of a argument and it might not come out easy on the ear, but it won't be spiteful. So
Nah. The woman that I have, and even women that I dealt with before her,
yeah,
okay, have enough respect to not disrespect a man's mama.
right. Yeah.
All right. They have
Right.
enough self respect about themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To
Mm-hmm.
to they was ladies, they was classy. Like I
Mm-hmm.
like I said, they was women. They
Mm-hmm.
still had their flaws. They still some of them was hoes. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they still had some certain respect about certain things. Just because you don't respect you would you say live free? Just because you live free with your box don't mean that you still ain't respectful.
Oh,
As a
okay.
as a
Live free with
human
your box.
being.
I was gonna say, hold on. Just because you live free don't mean that you out here doing all that type of stuff.
But I'm
But
just
but
saying.
if she wanted to live free in regards to her box, I
I'm
get
just
it.
saying, like if you living free with your box, right? I'm just saying you don't have no type, you don't have no,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you experiment, whatever you living your thing, doing how you want
Uh-huh.
to do it, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that don't mean that whoever parents you go meet, even if it's just you ain't serious, you still gonna be
Uh-huh.
respectful to them people.
Right. Manners and yeah, man. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? You
Basics.
still,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's still some
Mm-hmm.
class though.
Mm-hmm.
That's still saying these people are older. They deserve some respect because I'm with this person,
Yeah.
right? It
Mm-hmm.
don't mean that we gonna be together forever. I'm gonna be seeing these people parents. You know how many parents I done met and I ain't, you know.
Sure. Who you telling?
So that's the thing. Like, but how many people parents have I disrespected?
Yeah.
You know, I mean
Right.
now
Zero.
that's what I'm saying. So like, there is a balance to it, and there is
Mm-hmm.
some class to it. But some people don't have no chill for nobody, whoever could get it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's where I think that's where I know she was with it, because it's no way that you wanted me to marry you after talking to me like that.
Right.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
it's no way. I'm just like, I would have been playing myself.
I was gonna say, maybe she did, but even if that was the case, that wouldn't have been a good decision because then at that point you would have been walking into something agreeing to have been less than the man that you are. So
Yeah, already
yeah, that's
early,
crazy.
early yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely, you know, venting to friends and family, can be very tricky and
Mm-hmm.
not end well for some. So
Mm-hmm.
our third question: what kind of issues are okay to vent about, and what kind of issues should stay private?
Mm-hmm. Um, I mean, this really is all depending on the intent. If you are seeking just to relieve some energy or stress that you have at the moment, based on the subject, then you should probably be very, very selective, as you were already selective on the individual that you wanted to vent to. Now, about the things that you want to vent about, okay? Because there are some things that you're venting about where you just want to vent, and there are some things where you are venting for a solution. A lot of times people are just venting to vent. Like they do not want a solution or a follow-up right after they got done just getting stuff off their chest. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that's majority of most, and that's okay. And then you have this scenario once in a while where the venting may come with like, now help me fix it, or how do I help me stop feeling this way? What can be changed to make me feel different where I'm not so upset about this particular thing I'm venting about, right? So that might make way for certain subjects to be talked about or vented about that you might ordinarily steer away from. Like, let me give you an example. Generally speaking, sex is not something that you want to get into detail about. I mean, I could imagine two men or homeboys that are friends, whatever. I don't think you go into detail about how how charming soft your wife ass is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that men go into detail about how the internal insides of the woman. They might, but maybe not their mate, they significant other, their partner. The same with a woman. I mean, I don't think that if you have a good girlfriend and you say something like, "Oh, girl, I love everything about him. He's financially stable. He shows up as a man. Oh, and not to mention the sex is good," and you could keep it moving. That's more of a general statement, and some people still wouldn't even include that in the statement. Now, then you got other people that go deeper into the sex life or sex topic when they're venting. Oh, it's so little, or oh girl, he can't even keep it up, or he only go for 2 minutes. Us women, we talk about our array of things between each other.
Y'all be gossiping like, come on,
Venting,
Sasa.
gossiping, whatever. At some point it's gossiping, at some point it's venting, and it's venting when it becomes a problem within the relationship between two people. That gossiping, we might talked about it once or twice and kept it moving. But when either or is calling, talking about the same subject over and over, that's a vent at that point because, or yeah, that's the vent, I think, at that point, because now, back to what I was saying, the resolution. They're talking about it over and over about something maybe you wouldn't ordinarily get into detail about because I need a resolution. So back to my example, the whole sex thing. Oh, he's not performing well, this, that, and the third. It's not to be gossiping, it's to be like, okay, well, I know I heard this one, health wellness, or my homegirl is into that holistic care, and girl, beet juice, is one thing you can start preparing in your household that might help out the situation. That's more natural before you start popping the blue pill. Something like that. Not for the person you're venting to go get on the phone and talk about how weak so and so's sex life is in their marriage and stuff like that. It's not for that. So I think that you have to be careful of who you vent to and what subjects you decide to vent about. But I can understand certain people needing to vent about any and all any subject. Like I don't want to say nothing is off limits. It just depends on who you talking to.
Okay. So what if it is like when I say it's gossip, I'm talking about like it's telling your business. It's gossiping. All
Yeah,
right. All right. But look, that's what I'm referring to with the gossip.
yeah,
What if it does? What if it doesn't turn into the beet juice conversation? What if it turns into that person now calling, girl, he tired of smashing her, girl, he ain't even into it no more, blah blah blah.
right,
What if the conversation, he needs some new, oh yeah, he still whoop whoop, but girl, you did push up on him and do the, now they
right,
trying to steal it,
right,
man, because they like,
right.
now
It's
they go
her. It
whisper
ain't
in
him.
his,
Part.
right,
Yeah.
they go whisper in his ear like, I know you tired of fucking that man, ain't you? Yeah, yeah, see, yeah,
The
see,
good old
so
play. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I'm just like, because young ladies are aggressive. They like,
I agree with you, but
yeah,
I think that's always going to be your perspective. That's why you are going to say it's unhealthy, and regardless in what scenario or anything that I give, your ultimate, you always going to come back to that because it is a very true and happening thing. You know what I'm
yeah. It's
saying?
we talking about
Yeah,
it. It's really going
yeah,
on. It's
yeah. You're
really
not
going
making it
on.
up, so I
Yeah,
definitely get it. But I definitely get like, see, for me, I like going on vacation and meeting strangers and like just talking about what the ever and like not having no filter or like holding back my like real, true, genuine internal thoughts. I mean, I don't really get into like things like politics and stuff like that, but I definitely like if me and my homegirls are out and the girls are sitting beside us and one of them starts like two friends are drunk talking about like a boyfriend situation or something and they lean over, they're like, have you guys ever been married or do you want to? And then we can like have real life perspective or input conversations. No one will never see each other again. So we might say some like you might get some information from a girl or
yeah.
she
They
might
gonna.
say something about herself in real life. Like, yeah, I don't care because like I fucked his brother and his cousin. You be like, what girl? You did
Yeah,
that?
yeah. She putting all her business out in the street,
Like
literally.
right. But who cares? Because we'll never see each other again. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
The world
but
is
it
small. You might see them. What if you?
you might.
You might
You
say, be like,
might.
wasn't you? Didn't I see you at the steakhouse and you was talking about how you had
And
slept
that's
with
the
your husband's
husband. Is this or the
husband?
cousin? Right.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, like somebody could be petty.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, definitely. But ain't nothing wrong with being social and and having conversations with people out in public like that. Um, you know, the question right now is what kind of issues are okay to vent about and what kind of issues should stay private.
I
Um,
know your answer.
you know, earlier you spoke of like having a person you can talk to, you know, and prior to me getting married, I always thought that that was cool. I always thought that, you should have one person, um, or even if you have similar, right? Like you need advice, but it's how it's being presented versus it being, just just gossiping, just all out loud with it, just venting. Guess what this and man, this one, and like with the negative
Mm-hmm.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like, hey bro, I know y'all been married for like 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Right.
I got a situation I'm trying to understand, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now, most people are going to say, oh, you should be able to talk to your pastor about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, what if you got a pastor who been married like 4 times? You know, then I'm not,
Excuse me, bless me.
I'm not really, I'm not sheeple enough to think that they got marriage down pat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
He
Like I'm
might need
just
a
not.
little fine tuning himself.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, you might got your prayers down and and everything with God good, okay.
Right.
But in human life, you know, you got some other shit to work on.
Yeah.
Your spirit might be okay, but you still got some sculpting and molding to do, family. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be judgmental because I'm asking you to be judgmental of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural thing. Everybody does it, whether they admit to it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just one of them people who'll be like, yeah, I'm being judgmental. That's how I could say if I'm taking on a new friend, then guess
Mm-hmm.
what? Asshole, if asshole is part of your characteristic, don't even apply.
Right.
So I can see how people would say, you know, they would have a particular person to vent to get,
Mm-hmm.
you know, those types of answers or, concerns, you know, to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, ultimately it's just like if the two people want it bad enough, desire it bad enough,
Mm-hmm.
like they gonna figure it out.
Right.
The thing is they have to find a way to communicate these things,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I ain't gonna get too much into it because that's in a later question. But in relation to our question number 3, you know, everything that's private, I think their whole relationship is private. Our whole relationship is private. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's what I think. I think our whole relationship is private. The
Mm-hmm.
only people who don't have the privilege of staying private is like celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
People out here looking for them, looking for their flaws, looking for them to mess up,
Right.
looking for their mistakes, looking for their baby mamas, their sexual encounters, you know, anything. Their what do you call it? Being their sexual preferences,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like any of that stuff, any issues that or things that people just be dealing with, being human, they always looking for that, and they really don't have the flexibility or the privilege of everything being private for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, they not getting on venting. It's just gossip is gossip. I cover some stuff too over there on Brunch with the Fellas Friday nights at 9 p.m. East Coast time. But what kind of issues are okay to vent about? I'm really gonna say it's up to the person, but you know, I still think that it's always consequences when you start talking to friends and family about the issues that you have between the other person that you haven't communicated, you
Yeah.
know, or maybe you have.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe you have, and that leads us to our fourth question. Can frequent venting be a sign of deeper relationship problems?
Okay, so in my opinion, frequent venting can be a sign of deeper relationship problems, but it could be more than one problem that's deeper. It could either be really you're just staying with a individual that you are no longer compatible with in life, and you're going to find yourself unpleased and unsatisfied, so you're going to constantly find something to vent about until you release yourself from that and go get whatever blessing is really there for you. Or maybe this is why I think it's also good to have a select individual that is going to be holding you accountable and there for your well-being in a genuine sense. Because if something ends up happening where there is a time span of years that go by and you're noticing your friend is a venter and they have been in multiple relationships and they constantly are venting maybe about the same issues with different individuals, or they're just constantly finding something new with everybody to has something, maybe the person themselves that is doing the venting is just the unhappy individual, period. And the work needs to be self-reflected and start there. So the venting happens less frequently. So it could be deeper problems than just needing to get something off your chest, for sure. I mean, it's essentially the same thing as somebody waking up being unhappy every day. You know, if you have to vent every day, I don't even want to say that because I could see somebody needing 10 minutes, somebody that works in a super stressful corporate job or something, or ahead of a big something, or I'm a small business owner and some days I just want to go in the bathroom, close the door and scream and talk a little on the phone to my homegirl. But I don't
About
want
your business though.
about
That
whatever's going on in life. Yeah, yeah.
no, but that's not the topic. That's about like, okay, as a
Oh, okay.
business owner,
Okay.
yeah, as a
Yeah,
business
yeah,
owner, yeah, you got, this client, this contact,
yeah,
this, yes. So venting about that, you
yeah.
know, okay, cool. But your
Back to the subject.
yeah, your personal
Yeah.
relationship though,
Yeah,
nah,
you're right. Yeah,
nah,
it's back to mine. I was like waking up unhappy every day almost. It's like that's defeating the, so it definitely would be deeper, but who's it deeper with? The venter or the person that they venting about, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. That's one of them things where, going touching on what you were saying about a person waking up every day. Like, now, if they just wake up and they unhappy about their situation, then that is a deeper issue because they aren't appreciative of their situation. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe it is bad. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but we would
Mm-hmm.
have to have some variables in
Contact
order
the add to it. Yeah.
to be able to determine what is the bad parts about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
if it's just um that person is like they want to do what they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, them actually being someone who's angry with themselves,
Mm-hmm.
who
Mm-hmm.
very selfish,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then that could play a part too. That could be a deeper issue. So that's starting within self,
Word,
right?
yeah.
Looking at self, like saying, okay, am I the problem for real?
Mhm. Mhm.
When we put it on a scale and we look at, well, how much let's look at the things that this person asks of me, and let's look at the things that I ask of this person. Now, the things that I ask of this person, how much are they met percentile wise versus
Mhm.
the things that I ask of this person percentile wise.
Mhm.
All right. What type of issues do I run into all the time, constantly?
Mhm.
Now, are we trying to work together so that way, we can be like this with it?
Mhm.
All right. Where even these things that we go through over here, we sharing the responsibility of solving these. you
Mhm.
know is it still some things like, I think even in relationships, like, people gotta understand that, like, sometimes you're not gonna be able to solve that problem.
Right. So,
Like, you have to allow the other person to be able to solve it. Like, if they be like, I got it, I understand,
yeah.
okay, cool, then you have the
Mhm.
trust, you know
Mhm.
in that
Mhm.
partnership. That's what the partnership is about. They trust each other,
Right.
you
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
um so if a person is venting a lot, I do think that is because, one, they have poor communication in a relationship.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay.
I think that's one of the biggest things, because they're not talking to the person.
Right. I can see where you're going
They
with that.
they trying to talk to everybody else, or they gossiping, putting their business all out in the street, right? Trying to see what everybody else think about it,
Right.
instead of trying to just digest, internalize, maybe take accountability. One of the things you were saying,
Mhm.
for themselves. What
Mhm.
are they doing
Mhm.
that they know they not supposed to be doing, or they know this wrong, or they know they could do something better
Yeah.
or something different,
Yeah.
you know? but they're failing to do that.
Yeah.
That's what causes right there in that scenario. They're failing to do that, and that's what causes the other person, to either just be short with the communication, use things that have worked before. Like you get stuck in this one place and they don't never grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because one person trying to grow, but the other person don't want to.
Yeah, they don't want to or they can't because perspective and perception is like what really molds and folds people. Like some people ain't never been to a grand island with the blue water, but they can envision that's where they going in life. And then they might be partnered up, unfortunately, with somebody that can only see the 50 feet in front of them, which is the country that they live in, the city that they belong in, and the address that their neighborhood is in. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, like you said, it might simply just be a them or a you thing. And collaboratively, no matter how hard you work, it's just that they on not two different chapters, it's two different books. Maybe they was on the same bookshelf. That's how they ended up in this thing together. But not even the same book. Get what I'm saying? Like,
Well, there
because that
definitely is no us. That's for sure. Because
for sure.
yeah, because that's what would be keeping things together is a us. Is a
Right.
desire for us working together, um, us individually holding ourselves accountable, and us
Hmm.
individually being accountable collectively. You
Right.
know,
Hmm.
um, it's a whole lot of we. It's a whole lot of us. It's a whole lot of together.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and it does. Like people don't get it right out the gate, but
Right.
those the things that got to be worked at it, and venting to friends and family, in my opinion, doesn't help that. Because if I got a problem with something,
Right.
you know, then the problem needs to be resolved with the person that I have it with.
Right.
And I think that that's always the case. If you got a problem with somebody, then you need to resolve the problem with that person. Don't take it out on this person. Don't take it out on that person. Your beef is with who you beefing with. If it's beef, all right. And I'm just using that loosely. We know
Yeah,
ain't
yeah, yeah,
nobody
yeah, yeah.
ain't nobody shoot because real beef
Killing.
is when people gonna die. All
Right,
right.
exactly. Yeah.
But
But
you
we
have an
ain't killers up
issue,
here, right?
I mean, but nowadays, so we ain't saying you're op because
Right.
you know what I mean.
Right.
All right, but having a little beef, all right, disagreement, unsettlement, when you want to solve it, especially when we talk about in a relationship, having a little beef in your relationship, you want to resolve it with your partner, because the goal is for y'all to be on that same wavelength of we winning, we
Yeah.
doing better, we're
Yeah.
improving, we're accomplishing our goals, you know, we're accomplishing our goals and the
Mhm.
individual goals,
Mhm.
you know. Like a lot of people don't have relationship goals.
Right.
They just have well, you doing this and I'm doing this. Okay, well,
Mhm.
what's our relationship goal?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
because I can go be cool I can go do this and be cool by myself,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And I can survive.
Right.
I don't need you to survive,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
But and she may not need me to survive, right?
Mhm.
She can go and
Mhm.
do her thing too.
Mhm.
But we got that under control.
Mhm.
What's our goals? Where we want to see ourselves? What do we want to see us do
Right.
together that we both are working at
Mhm.
actively?
Mhm.
And those are things where it's even like moving to our fifth question: how can couples set venting rules so both partners feel respected?
Mhm.
And that's where we talking about setting up these rules. Okay, like anything that we need to talk about, we talk about it, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't keep nothing from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you feeling messed up about something,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, share with me. You know, if it's is going into understanding, like you may have somebody that like like my wife might need a day. Okay, like something might happen. I might do some shit. I ain't know. I don't never be knowing what I be doing. Okay, but then I'll know the next day that I did some shit. She won't
Mm-hmm.
have to tell me nothing.
Uh-huh.
I just know the energy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be like, "What did I do?"
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be like, "It was yesterday when you so and so so so," right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, "Damn." So now we having a conversation. I'm just like damn in my head because I'm just trying to get things cool.
Right.
Now that I understand she had a problem with it, I could spend time and be like, well, why you ain't tell me that yesterday?
Right.
You know? But then I understand that she don't do things on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
don't check shit on the
Right.
spot.
Right.
I check shit on the spot.
Yeah.
You know? That's
Mm-hmm.
not her personality.
Right. Exactly. You gotta respect it.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm understanding how we communicate,
Mm-hmm.
her communication methods,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know? So I'll know off the next day, like boom, and then we discuss it. And then
Mm-hmm.
everything is back to where we was, you know?
Right.
And then I
Mm-hmm.
learn from that. I understand like, oh damn. Because I ain't know. I didn't know. Or maybe I was in a mood and in a mode and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's time to be able to go back, resolve the issue, understand it, and then it don't have to be no continuation.
No continuous vent session.
Right. It don't have, and it, you know, we can drop it. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, that happened. We had a discussion, understood, boom. And then my goal is to be mindful to not do it again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to check myself,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
see? So I respect that person enough to check myself to where they don't have to check me,
Okay. Mr.
you know?
Self-corrector.
Yeah. I mean, but if you trying to be better,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then why would I keep on doing the same shit unless and now it's like fuck you,
Yeah, I mean, you got a
you
good
know?
there, but you are a gem, darling. You are a gem.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, but see, people don't notice the fuck yous fast enough. See, I'm not delusional. See, if you ask somebody, you in a relationship with somebody, right? And you communicate something to them that's bothering you and they keep doing it, that's fuck you.
Mm, you
It's
heard
it's no
that, world?
different. It's no different from if a child is doing something and when we was young and your parents say stop doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I told you stop doing that, you're gonna get hurt. And they didn't told you 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
After the first time when the parent told you to stop, the second time that they was telling you to stop, you was telling them, fuck you, I ain't listening to you.
Mm.
Especially if you understand, if you comprehend. I ain't talking about to no baby that's just learning language and
No.
don't know what stop mean or
Right.
no
We
or don't.
right.
But they learn that shit first. Those is like some of the first words we learn. Stop,
Right.
no, and don't, and yes,
Mm-hmm.
and right. So we're learning these things early. So when you could, as an adult, when you communicate it like that bothers me. That is something that I dislike. You know,
Yes. I,
okay. Then the
mm,
person keep doing it, right? It don't matter what it look like.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Don't matter
Every
what.
time, if they
Mm-hmm.
apologize to you and keep doing it, it's even a bigger fuck you. Because now they playing with you and shit. Now they think now it's really fuck you because it's just like, well, I'm gonna apologize to you and I'm gonna keep doing the shit to you anyway, and I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. And they smiling in your face. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do
Like
think
that.
stuff like that is intentional for
So
whatever
that's
reason is.
intentional.
Yeah,
That's intentional. That
I do
is.
think that. But I
That's
will say
intentional.
this. I will say this. There is a very
Unless they are what do you call it? What's the word that we need to use to be correct? Mentally challenged, like they special needs.
developmentally delayed.
That unless they developmentally delayed, you
Uh-huh.
know, then that's the only way.
Right. Right.
That's the only way that is that it could not be
How
perceived
perceived as.
a
Yeah.
fuck you,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so if venting is one of them things that a person communicates to you in a relationship and they like,
Mm-hmm.
look, I don't like the way you be telling everybody our business,
Mm-hmm.
but then that person keep doing it,
Mm-hmm.
they are saying, fuck you, I don't care if you don't
Mm-hmm.
like that I'm talking to my friend or that I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
to my this person or talking to, and you saying to them, look, I want you to talk to me about it, and they saying,
Mm-hmm.
well, I done tried to talk to you about it, but I don't, you don't like the answer that you're getting,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But telling somebody else ain't gonna give you no different answer with us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
And
if
you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna leave, right? You ain't gonna, unless you gonna leave,
I
stand on it.
mean, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
you ain't gonna leave. You ain't gonna. So then what I have to choose to accept is that you're gonna just be putting our business out in the street, regardless of how I communicate to you that I would like for us to work on our communication so we could resolve our own issues because yeah, we're gonna have some disagreements. But if we're gonna be together, then that's part of growing together and learning how to handle our disagreements and solve our problems in a partnership, in a relationship.
Yeah, okay.
I don't care if it's a marriage, I don't care if it's a life
I'm about to
partnership.
take the floor.
Yeah.
So what I think is that it makes sense what you're saying, but it's almost like expectation of not being realistic. The one part that is very realistic is that the partner to address their mate. Yes, I think that would be fair because it'd be very inconsiderate and not conducive to the relationship to go talk to somebody else about it and not bring it up to your mate. But some subjects or some things I guess are easier to talk to other people about. And again, that's why I say you have to be selective about the people you talk to and the things you talk about. But one of the things that I wanted to say in regards to question number 5 is
Right. To
that
the question, how can couples set venting
venting
rules
rules, right?
so
So I
both
mean,
partners feel respected? Right. That's what
but
we was
you
talking about.
right, yeah, you said it. You gave a lot of examples. I mean, that's where I took the floor from you at. You were saying it like the rule might be that it makes them uncomfortable to talk to other outside entities and partners. So that's the rule between somebody with y'all, somebody in a relationship with your beliefs, like we gonna keep this in-house between us, this how we gonna do it, blah blah blah. I definitely think that is a rule that can be set. Now, I'm just challenging the idea of it being reality because men and women both talk, and some people need that outside perspective to level themselves out to either reassure or challenge themselves. And it can get messy easily, but I think the only thing I would say in regards to venting, whether it be to my man that wants to talk about me to his bros or to his mama or his sister, or whether it be my homegirl that gets irritated with me and want to vent about me to the other friends in the group, that's fine. All y'all could take turns doing that. But when
No,
y'all,
no, no,
no, but when yes, for me, y'all could
no,
do that.
not a girlfriend venting about you. We talking about relationships. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
The
Like
only
so
all
so
right. So
all
my
this
the
so
follow
all
up.
this extra pause though for 1 second. All this
Uh-huh.
extra on these personal relations, these
Outside entities that ain't your significant other.
yeah, like we talking
Uh-huh.
about a partner. We ain't talking about my home girl, my homeboy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We talking about your partner coming to you and asking you, or in a relationship, how can these
Right.
partners
I think
set these rules, right?
okay.
So like
Yeah.
even like what you said earlier, so you was on point with the okay, if they agree to say, all right, I don't mind if you talk to this friend and I
Uh-huh.
got my friend. All right.
Uh-huh.
That's a rule,
Uh-huh.
right?
That's a
They
rule.
both
Yeah.
feel respected because
Yeah.
it ain't going past those two people.
Right. I get what you're doing. Okay. Wheel me
Okay.
back in. Wheel me back in.
Come
So
on.
yeah. So my only rule would be I could agree with your rule. I'm not against it, but I even for myself, if I was to be like the rule would be just don't be venting to other people about us. To bring it to each other. Even if I was to set that as the rule, I don't believe it. So with that being said, the only thing I'm gonna say to question number 5 to close my statement is if you venting about me, just go ahead and make sure sometimes you brag about me. That's all.
Right. Okay.
That's all because I'm pretty sure for every person that love me, I get on their nerves sometimes too. So, because every person that I love in my life, they get on my nerves sometimes. Like it's not one person. Oh my God, I love this. They never got on my nerves. No, you know.
Okay.
So,
But we not
but I
talking
got
about
so
every
many
person
good.
in your life though.
No,
That's the
okay, you're
thing.
right. You're
That's the
right. Let me
thing.
let me
See, like,
rephrase it. It don't
like
matter. It
I
applies
could
the
vent
same.
on you. I could vent on, but that's not the topic though,
Let me get
right?
back to let me rephrase
We
it
not talking about
for my
platonic
lover,
friends.
for my
Platonic
lover,
friends we ain't
for
talking
my
about.
lover that
Yeah.
I love, and for my significant other that I got so many good things about myself, and they got so many good things about themselves. We also got things about ourselves and each other that irritate the hell out of each other. So while you talking to your mama about me, your bros about me, and you venting, just go ahead and brag about me every now and then to them as well. That's the only thing I really have to say about number 5. I'm jumping on your
Okay.
bandwagon and saying don't talk to nobody about
No, it's
us.
okay. No, it's not, because to me it's not about being agreeable, right?
Right,
It's about trying to offer some solutions,
right.
and like what I was saying was that I was coming from a perspective of, we should look to each other first. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
rule. We could look to
I
each
agree.
other first. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You said there was a rule where if you agree to have a one person who's
Mm-hmm.
outside of the relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where it's just like we pick this person. Okay, so you gonna talk to Sue. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk to Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and that's we not gonna let our business go past Sue and Mike.
Right.
All right, and
Mm-hmm.
our Sue and Mike probably only maybe even know each other when we come together. They may not even know each other. They may not have even
Right.
hang around each other. All
Right.
right, but we
Mm-hmm.
have designated that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's where I was coming from with the mindset of the question, where it's like, okay, an example I gave where it's like my wife needs a day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we not venting about things where it's like, okay, I need a day.
Mm-hmm.
So if something happened, then I need a day to be able to internalize it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to go talk to nobody else.
Yeah, right.
Right.
She's gonna sleep on it, think about
Right.
it.
Now I
Mm-hmm.
said I ain't know. Now even
Mm-hmm.
if it was, I knew about it, and it was just like, was she like, I need a day, I need a couple of hours, I need,
Right.
whatever. Or it was me who was just like, I need a day, I don't need to. Okay, so when we have certain things, give each other space. So now we have this rule, we have this new rule where it's just like, give us a little bit of time to internalize it. All right.
Right.
And I'm saying that this is communication, this is talking, this is
Mm-hmm.
saying like, okay, something happened, we both know we upset. All
Mm-hmm.
right, or maybe you upset and I'm not, or maybe vice versa, one person.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but when we bring it to the table to talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
if there's something that's needed in
Mm-hmm.
order to shore it up at the table, to be like, okay, this is the issue right now, but I need some time to digest it before we start talking about it to figure it out. Boom, boom, boom.
Mhm.
Allow each other that space. These are
Mhm.
things that I'm talking about are rules that can be implemented, like solutions that people can have. You
Mhm.
know, um, some people may have the liberty of being like, you know what, when we come up with like, and we talking about big stuff. We not talking about little petty shit. If you got somebody that's little petty stuff that you always, then like I said, somebody ain't happy internally
Mhm. Mhm.
because shit just too petty all the time.
Mhm.
You know, so
Mhm.
that's childish.
Mhm.
And maybe two childish people are good for each other. All
Mhm.
right,
Name
but
after that.
but you need some level of communication there, and to try to have some, to share some ways is designating something,
Mhm.
because regardless, whether we take what Billy Badass Joe said or whether we take what I said, all of them are suggestions and helping to do one thing, and that's allow the two people to communicate.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because when we look at our question, how can couples set venting rules so both partners feel respected? Talk about it. That's the
Yeah.
first thing. Because even if we say, okay, I'm talking to Mike, you talking to Sue, guess what? We had a conversation about it first.
Yeah. That's one of the rules. Makes sense. Whatever works out for you and your partner, as long as y'all establish the rules and y'all honor them, then that is fitting for your relationship. It just something is better than nothing. A standard, expectation, or a rule that is established, so nobody's confused. I think that that would minimize some of the stress.
That will
Maybe.
minimize a lot of stress.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, that's one opportunity to get love right. Apply some of these things maybe to help us out.
You know, hey,
Hmm.
anything can happen.
That's
So
right.
that's all we got on the Love Speak Q&A tonight, y'all. Our first question was, is it healthy to vent to friends or family about your relationships? Have you ever vented to your friends or family? If so, what happened? Share a story. Share. Let us know in the comment section below what kind of issues are okay to vent about and what kind of issues should stay private. Should anything be okay to vent about? Is your whole relationship, since it is private, should you keep it private? Can frequent venting be a sign of deeper relationship problems? Let us know about that too. All right. Because some people just be mad. Some people just be angry all the time. They ain't got no
Hmm.
joy. They wake up.
Hmm.
What you say, Billy Badass Joe? They just wake up evil.
Evil. Just
And then I,
mad and mean.
it's just mad and mean, right? Not
Mhm.
even thankful for the day for real.
Right. I was about to say that. Like that. You have all 10 of your fingers. Y'all know how hard it would be if you ain't had your thumb to do certain stuff in life. Your thumb is like the basis for everything. Just little stuff like that to be
You
thankful
said if
for.
you ain't had your thumb, I know
Yeah.
you damn
Yeah.
sure couldn't hitchhike. So
I'm saying that'd be number one. Then you couldn't flick no light. I mean, you could do anything, but
you
just to
couldn't flick a
relearn it,
lighter.
or yeah,
Mm,
like just hold the
mm.
spoon. Hold it. How do you hold a spoon at that point? Do you hold it like a I don't know,
You
but
learn. Occupational therapy will have you learning.
exactly.
You
Yep.
know. And shout out
Yeah.
to all my people out there, my amputees and stuff like
Yeah.
that, the veterans that been, that had to relearn how to do that stuff. We love y'all.
Thank
Appreciate y'all for y'all
yeah, thank y'all for your
sacrifice.
services. Yes.
And
Yes.
now our final question, last but not least, how can couples set venting rules so both partners feel respected? We just discussed that, and that's basically communicate. Communicate. That's where you're gonna start at. You're gonna start by talking about these things. That's your partner. That's who you're gonna be with. You shouldn't be giving up, shouldn't be exchanging bodily fluids if we can't
Hmm.
talk about stuff. So
Hmm.
I don't know, call me old fashioned, but I'm just like, hey, if I'm good enough for that, then we need to be good enough to chat. So
Yeah. How about that?
tonight's topic was venting to your family and friends. And y'all can catch that on the run back. We appreciate everybody for pulling up tonight. Make sure to like and share the video. Also subscribe to the channel so when we go live, you never miss an episode of the Love Speak. We want everybody to have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to the weekend eve. It's the weekend eve, the eve of the weekend. You know, have a peaceful, positive, and productive weekend. I know we gonna do some stuff. I know Billy Badass Joe gonna do some stuff too.
Yep, and that's what I'm about.
We stay doing.
We stay doing. That's why I'm about to get up off here because I got some stuff to do early in the morning.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see y'all next time right here on the Love Speak.
Yeah.
Peace.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
It's the most wonderful time of the year again, where families make new memories, share old memories, and celebrate the new year. So visit the DBCHEFTV gift shop for the best stocking stuffers to add to your holiday cheer. Enjoy 25% off our entire site now through January 5th, 2026.
At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast, The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigar Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds. Hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.